games into another international break. How do you reflect on those first few weeks? Are your team where you thought they'd be in terms of performance and points?
I think we start very, very well in terms of results and performance. The first 4 or 5 games, and then probably the rest of the game we didn't get the points that we want for sure, but we already analyzed the reason why. Again, I think most of the game where we didn't get the points is because they were game very complicated for us in terms of, again, unfortunately, red card. But no doubt that also the injury situation, we have in this moment I think 8 players. Slowly we're gonna be again where we need to be.
And I know that you've spoken a lot about discipline. 25 yellows and 3 reds, I think, in your 9 games. And I remember speaking to Mikel Arteta about it, and he said actually he chose not to speak too closely to his players about it because it almost becomes more of a thing. What's your approach with your players in terms of crossing that line? Because as you said, it's costing you games.
Yeah, you have to analyze case for case. When it's a red card for bad intention or for bad discipline, it's different compared to Man United red card or Brighton red card. In that case, it's just the decision that you have to take in 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Do I do foul or not? It's difficult. So we analyze case for case. Again, I don't see any discipline problem, even if we consider, I think, 3-4 red card. That is not something normal. But again, it's for different reasons.
You've talked a lot over the past few weeks about solving problems and conundrums that you've got with so many players out. How do you approach putting together a defensive unit for the weekends against a side that maybe hasn't hit the heights we expect? But what sort of players are you thinking? Are you thinking outside of the box? Are you just going to have to trust some of those youngsters in your squad on Saturday afternoon?
No, but I think it's a fact that I really trust the young players, not just the young players that we buy, also the young players from the academy. Again, we give games last year to Josh Achipong, having players on the bench, senior players, so that show that I trust young players. The same thing happened with Thai. So I really trust all the players we have. As you said, in this moment we have, I think, 4 or 5 defenders out, but we're gonna try to adapt and find the right solution for tomorrow game.
Just finally from me, I think about 3 weeks ago you said that it would be impossible for anybody to stop Liverpool.
You must misunderstanding me. If you review the interview, I said if they continue the same way, that there were 5 games, yes. 5 wins. So if a team continue to win and win.
You still said the words, they'll be impossible to stop. So I wondered...
It's impossible to catch.
Impossible to catch. But you haven't had my question yet, so you don't actually
Sorry.
know what I'm going to ask you. I tend to find that a little bit more useful. Impossible to catch. Do you feel the last week has shown that there is a vulnerability about Liverpool this season?
There is vulnerability about any team in the world, not just Liverpool. But if a team win all the games, it's impossible to catch them. When we did the interview, after 5 games, they had 50 points. Mm-hmm. My words was, if they continue in the same way, it's impossible to catch them. Now, they lost 1 game, 2 games, that show that there is vulnerability. And
that's
this is something
now and not with 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, this is something for me from not just Liverpool, from all the teams in the world. So, and then the Premier League, you know how difficult it is, and you can draw points against any team.
Thanks, Gail. Soraya?
Morning. When we spoke last season, you said the performances against Liverpool, particularly the away game, was one of the best you played. Slot also agreed. He said it was one of the most challenging games last season at Anfield. What have you learned about Liverpool from playing them last season to this season, and what do you think it is about this fixture that makes Chelsea play their best?
Yes, we played both games, I think, against Liverpool very good. Unfortunately, we lost there and we won at home. But every game is different, especially from one season to the other one is different. We're gonna try to prepare the game in the best way we can for tomorrow. Try to win the game. But again, I think even if in the last 1 or 2 games they drop points, but they show the reason why they won last year the Premier League, and they're gonna be there until the end.
I want to touch on your box high line. You had some success with it last season where your defenders looked to put players offside on the edge of the box. Some teams have sort of exploited this now. They've timed their attack at the back post in open play at set pieces. We've seen some goals be conceded at the back post. How do you reduce the risk of that, especially when you've had to rotate your defenders? How do you work on that in training?
Yeah, it's just to try to continue to evolve. As you said, I think our defensive line was very good last year. I think in terms of goal conceded after Liverpool and Arsenal was Chelsea there, so sure that we did something important, but it's not enough. You have always to try to evolve, to try to add things, how we can do better, and now we are trying to do exactly the same.
And positively, Badiashile returned. He was so strong winning his duels. He aerially was helping the team out a lot. He was the first to step out in front of the press. He looked very sharp. Can you talk about his return and how you think he can tactically help the team coming back into defence?
Yeah, it's since I joined the club, every time I spoke about Benoit, I always said that for me personally, it's an important player. He's a very good player. Unfortunately, he has been injured a few times since I joined the club. But again, even in the before the last injury, he was playing almost every game before in a Club World Cup, and then got injury against Benfica. But now he's back. It's good news for us, for the teammates, but especially for him because when you are out for a long period, it's always a shame.
Thanks, Soraya. John?
Hi, Enzo. With Liverpool, do you think it's a different proposition playing them now than it would have been a couple of weeks ago? We talk about vulnerabilities. What do you think those vulnerabilities are that we've maybe seen over the last couple of games?
I don't think that now it's better to play Liverpool just because they draw points in the last 2 games. It's always a tough game, always a big team. For me personally, the way they are doing this season is, in any case, is fantastic, especially after Jota tragedy. I live exactly the same when I was player 20 years ago, and it's not easy for the players, it's not easy for the club, it's not easy for the manager when you arrive at the training ground and you see every day that place empty. So you have to be very strong, and this is the reason why for me they are doing not good, even better than good, even more, because they are trying to deal with the problem that is not easy.
You meant,
but it's a nice job for me that you can decide which one is the best for that game. But overall, has been enjoyable. It's normal. I'm not thinking to be a Chelsea manager and be always that everything is in place and everything is working well. You need to adjust things. You need to, as I said, you need to evolve. And I feel good.
and just a question on Mark Guiu. Obviously, he was recalled from loan. He hasn't featured since he came back. So, what is the situation with him?
Mark is working well. This week he has worked very, very good, much better compared to the first weeks when he came back. But for sure he's going to get minutes with us and he's going to play games.
And Esteval, have you considered starting him as a number 10 with Cole Palmer not playing? I think in the past he has said that it's possibly his preferred position.
We consider all our players to give them minutes and all position, but also I think Esteval reminded me a lot Cole when Cole was with me with under 23 at City, and when he was with us in the first team. I think Cole path has been similar to Estevao path in terms of starting wide as a winger, and then slowly you can move inside. Premier League is completely different compared to the other country in the world. If you want to play in the middle, you need to be prepared physically prepared. I think Cole now is like that. In the past, he needs to develop that, and I see Estevao exactly in the same way.
Thanks, John. Davido?
Ciao, Enzo. Liverpool, as defending champion, might be the measuring stick for every team. Do you consider them the measuring stick for Chelsea? At what level do you think you are entering this game?
Yeah, I consider them the best team in this moment in England. The reason why is because they show that and because they won the Premier League. Where we are in this moment, I think we are improving. We are trying to solve problems in terms of find solution. But for sure, I think, as I said at the beginning of the press conference, I think at the end we're gonna be there close.
Rob?
Hi, so with Mark Huey, is there a risk that his development is being risked or compromised by having another season on the bench when you presumably would have been playing quite regularly at this stage? I mean, that obviously was the club's plan initially. So is there a risk to the development that the club had planned for him?
I don't think so. Personally, I don't think so, because he's back with a big club like Chelsea. Again, he's going to get minutes with us, no doubt. And also, for me, the development of a young player is not just about the game when you are so young. It's also about the training session and the day by day. And I think it's important that he is with us and is working with us.
And time for one more question, Simon.
Enzo, just the basic one on team news, if there's any sort of update on that, and is Cole sort of still, for example, due to come back after the international break?
Cole is still out. We have Trevi suspended, so we have now to tell all the names it's complicated because they are but we have 8 players out.